Order. We will call the roll and establish a quorum. Beginning with myself, I'm Michael Jackson, appointed by the governor in the faculty role, and I'm president of the board. Good morning, everyone. Today is September 16, 2020.
I guess I'll go next. My name is Ken Marlborough, Vice President of the Public Member, and I'm appointed by Senate Rules Committee.
This is Imelda Ceja-Butkowitz, appointed by the governor as a public member. Mr. Chair, do you mind calling roll call?
Sure. I thought that's what we were doing. After Imelda Ceja-Butkowitz, we have a new board member who I'd like to introduce. She is the Chief Nurse Executive Officer for Children's Hospital, Rady's Children's Hospital from San Diego. I'd like for her to introduce herself at this time and who her appointment was. Dr. Fagan, are you able to unmute? While we wait for the staff to assist Dr. Fagan, we'll move on to our next board member, Karen Skelton.
Good morning. Hello.
Karen Skelton is a public member appointed by the governor. Dolores Trujillo.
This is Dolores Trujillo. I am appointed by the governor in the bedside nurse role, sorry. Good morning.
And Betty.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Woods, and I am appointed by the governor in the advanced practice role. And welcome, Dr. Fagan.
And our executive officer.
Good morning. I'm Loretta Melby, or Lori. I'm the Executive Officer for the Board of Registered Nursing, and I was appointed by the board.
Thank you very much, everyone, for the introductions. Did we ever get a hold of Dr. Fagan?
She's on and her mic is unmuted.
Okay, but we've established a quorum and the roll has been called. Moving on to item 2.0.
Sorry. Good morning. This is the BRN moderator. I will be moderating the meeting. To facilitate public comment, we will be utilizing the WebEx question and answer feature. When the board reaches a point in the agenda at which public comment is appropriate, the question and answer feature will be turned on and members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by inserting the phrase, "I would like to make a comment," in the question box, which is typically in the lower right of your screen. I will then call on the individual and unmute their microphone. The individual will have 2 minutes to make their comments. I will not give a warning as your time approaches. I will mute your microphone and will announce that your time has exceeded the time allotted. I will then move on to the next member of the public who has a comment. Please note, the question and answer feature is being used only as a means for the members of the public to represent they would like to make a verbal comment. This is not a means to ask questions of the moderator or members of the board. Such inquiries submitted using this feature will not be answered. When asking a question, please make sure the question is directed at the host, me, in the drop-down. If any attendees utilize a profane name, they will not be called upon to prevent members of the public from being subject to profane language. While you are free to express criticism or negative views, for the sake of members of the public participating on the call, please do not use profane language when making public comments to the board. I will provide a brief reminder of this approach at the start of each public comment item. Finally, when board members or senior staff are not speaking, I would like to remind them to mute their microphone. If I detect background noise during the meeting as a result of unmuted microphones, I will interject with a brief friendly reminder.
Thank you very much, BRN moderator. We're moving on to item 3.0, which is public comments for items not on the agenda, items for future agenda. Please note that the board may not discuss or act on any matters raised during public comment section that is not included on this agenda, except to decide whether to place the matter on an agenda in the future. Thank you very much, BRN moderator.
Hello? Yep. Okay. Okay, thank you.
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for the members of the public to see how they should type in their request for a comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired and will move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President, we have a member of the public with the name of Garrett Chan who would like to make a comment.
Yes, please go ahead.
Member of the public, Garrett Chan, I will unmute your microphone in a moment and I will give you a verbal cue once you're unmuted. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Mr. President, board members, and welcome to Dr. Fagan. It's great to have a pediatric nurse on the Board of Registered Nursing. My name is Garrett Chan. I'm the president and CEO of Health Impact, the California Nursing Workforce and Policy Center. And I just want to first commend the board and the board staff on the work that you are continuing to do in response to the audit. I think that you guys are doing some really great work in taking the audit recommendations seriously and coming up with a good plan for future progress. I just wanted to say to the board that Health Impact has been working with the Foundation of the California Community Colleges with the centralized clinical placement system to create a regional report for the regions that use the centralized clinical placement system, or CCPS. And so as the board continues to do their work related to responding back to the BSA or CSA now, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay. I will provide a copy of the report to Loretta Melby just for her record so that she can understand that there are some tools out there that can help the board understand clinical placements, clinical availability, and clinical need. So I just want to thank the board for all the work that you guys are doing. Thank you.
How we're going to make you as a panelist.
Thank you very much for your comments, Garrett Chan. We appreciate you. Any further public comments? Oh, yeah, by the way, we've always had a pediatric nurse on the board. Randy Phillips and Dolores are also pediatric nurses.
Board President Jackson, there are no more requests. Oh, sorry, one more. Oh, I'm sorry, no more comments.
Seeing no further public comments, we'll move on to item 4.0 on the agenda. Review and vote on whether to approve the previous minutes from June 24th, 2020, August 4th, 2020, August 13th, 2020, and those are items 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3. I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes.
I'll make
the minutes.
I'll second that motion, Elizabeth Woods.
Thank you. Are there any discussions, corrections for the minutes? Hearing none, are there any public comments before the board votes on the minutes?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for the members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no requests for public comment on this item. Would you like me to close the public comment window for this?
Yes, please close the public comment window. Thank you. Seeing no other public comments and no further discussion for the board, I'd like to call for the vote at this time. Michael Jackson votes yes. Ken Marlborough.
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Imelda Seha Buckowitz.
Imelda Seha Butkowitz votes yes.
Karen Skelton.
Yes. Approve.
Mary Fagan. I think Dr. Fagan is working to get her computer back up. Dolores Trujillo.
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
And Elizabeth Woods.
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 5.0 on the agenda, update on the Division of Investigations and the BRN's pilot project. We'll have Chief David Chris from DCA's Division of Investigative Services.
Hello. Good morning. My name is David Chris, and I'm the chief of the Department of Consumer Affairs, Division of Investigation. I'll be providing an update on the division's investigation and enforcement unit. DFI currently has 7 investigator vacancies. 2 new investigators have a start date of October 1st, which will bring our vacancies to 5, which is a vacancy rate of 11%. 3 candidates are in background check process for these positions, which upon completion will bring our vacancies to 2 positions, which is a 4% vacancy rate. Last year at this time, I reported a 23% vacancy rate, and this is a significant improvement. Additionally, pursuant to Senate Bill 425, D of I was given authority for 1 additional sworn investigator position, beginning this fiscal year, to handle the increase in mandated sexual misconduct case referrals from health facilities that was required by this bill. This past fiscal year, on average, D of I has completed more cases than have been received from the boards for investigation. D of I has been very productive, and this will reduce the pending workload and lead to faster completion times. Even with the pandemic, staff have adapted to the changing work environment and are completing investigations. Many interviews have transitioned to phone and video conference, and all cases are progressing. D of I's average case completion time for all cases is 339 days, and for BRN cases is 365 days. This last fiscal year, D of I completed 1,029 cases for all boards and bureaus and completed 448 cases for BRN. Also this past year, D of I went through an extensive review by the department's Organizational Improvement Office to identify areas to streamline processes and reduce workload and timelines. Some of these recommendations included monitoring of cases, monthly case reviews, and ongoing weekly discussions between investigators and supervisors on urgent and priority cases. We have implemented many of the recommendations of the report, including recommendations for increased monitoring of cases. In July of this year, all D of I supervisors attended training on monthly case reviews, investigation and report quality, and proper monitoring of investigations. Each month, case status notes will be entered on all cases so clients can see the progress of each case on a monthly basis. And additionally, for an update on the BRN/D of I pilot program. Last year, the Board of Registered Nursing and the Division of Investigation collectively developed a pilot program to allow quality of care cases not resulting in a criminal offense to be retained by BRN for investigation and to make adjustments to the triage process for new cases that are received by the board prior to referral to D of I. The goal of this pilot program was to further support the Board of Registered Nursing's mission to serve and protect consumers by utilizing the combined staff resources of BRN and D of I to improve business process, reduce case completion timelines, and reduce overall costs. These adjustments in the process allow BRN to make informed decisions to either refer a case to D of I or retain the investigation in-house based on the facts and not just a brief summary of the complaint. Exceptions to this process involve cases that pose immediate consumer harm, such as sexual misconduct, which would be referred immediately to D of I. These adjustments to the existing case referral process give the board additional oversight and input with regards to the initial determination for case referral to D of I. Also, these adjustments allow D of I to focus its efforts on the most serious, urgent complaints that require sworn peace officer involvement. The change in this operational process will result in cost savings for the board. It will also improve investigation completion timelines and most importantly, it will improve consumer protection. This pilot program has been a success. During this past year, as a result of the program, 82 quality of care cases were retained by the board for in-house investigation. This allows DFI to focus its efforts on the most serious and urgent cases. We've been meeting with staff from the board about this pilot program and discussing any further needed refinements to the process, and would like to extend the pilot program for an additional year. This has truly been a collaborative effort, and I want to thank the board and all board staff and DFI staff that work together to make this happen. This concludes my update, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Chief Chris, thank you very much for your presentation. Are there any questions from the board members?
I have a question. First of all, thank you. I look forward to continuing our collaboration, working together, and getting these cases expedited. I do have some questions. So the BRN retaining 82 cases, how many do you currently have open?
I'd have to get that exact number to you, but roughly we completed 448 cases this past fiscal year. So that's an average, but if you subtracted 82 cases from that, that would leave an approximate number of what the cases are at DFI. But I can get you that exact number.
Yeah, so these are the category 1 and 2 that you are following. My next follow-up question, what is the time frame for you to process these cases? The goal was of 240 days. I think there was, back in March, you actually had claimed the days of 388 compared to the same period last year ago. So they were actually claiming the time it was taking you to process those cases. And the reason that I'm asking this is because, oftentimes, and as the new members are on board, they will ask the same questions we all asked when we first started. Why is it taking us 2 or 3 years before it's coming before the board? Why are we putting the public at risk? Why aren't these cases being processed a lot sooner and quicker?
So the position that DFI has been in is, last year when we reported to the board, we had a 23% vacancy rate, and had a whole series of retirements that people who were getting to that age and left DFI, and those people are difficult to replace. So we've made a lot of improvement this last year in the vacancy rate and hiring. We were at 23%, and now we're down to 4%. But I'd like the board to know that we've been in the process of rebuilding and growing and improving. And my plan is to continue this effort. So we've made significant improvement with filling the vacancies, and we will continue to do so. We've also received an additional 5 new positions to handle the workload, and 1 additional position to handle the new workload due to Senate Bill 425. We also went through an extensive review by the department's Organizational Improvement Office to identify areas to streamline and reduce workload and timelines. And we've implemented many of these recommendations of the report, including increased monitoring of cases. In July, we provided all supervisors with training on the monthly case reviews and investigation and report quality and monitoring of investigations. And we've also been meeting with the board and board staff to identify further ways to streamline our collective processes, which will reduce the completion timelines. We have noticed improvement and are completing more cases on average than receiving. So if we continue to move forward on this track, it will reduce that pending backlog of cases. So based on these factors, I'm very optimistic about what our performance will look like in this next year. And I'd like the board to know that D of I is committed to ongoing continuous improvement to improve consumer protection.
And I appreciate all the work that you're doing. I really do. But again, that was our concern. And at that time that you were going to hire more staff because you needed more staff. You asked for more staff. Again, I know that we're doing a lot better. It's a work in progress. And I really look forward to our continued collaboration. And again, our concern is that the public is kept safe and that these cases are expedited a lot quicker, at least within the goal of 240 days. I know that our pilot project did end in September. I'm not really sure as to when it expired, our contract or agreement, our MOU, whatever you want to call it. So I am looking to sign another agreement as to what we plan for this following year and how we can move forward. And again, keeping in mind that this is for public protection.
Yes, thank you. And we feel the same way and are working with the board to make these things happen as fast as possible.
I have no more questions, but I do appreciate everything that you're doing. And I really like the idea that we're working together closely. I think that some of the other boards are actually looking at this pilot project to see if they could also implement the project to other boards. So yeah, let's continue working together and see how we can improve it. Again, I want to thank you and staff and the BRN staff for making it happen. I mean, just to get it started, I know it's difficult. I know there's always a challenge with staff, retaining staff or the staff that are retiring. It's a challenge. I realize that, but let's work together and see how we can resolve some of these issues. Thank you, Mr. Chris.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chief Chris. Hey, I'd like to remind the board members when they have a question or comments, please introduce yourself so folks know who you are. Thank you. If there are no other questions, we'll move on to item 6.0. Item 6.0 is report of the Administrative Committee. I'm Michael Jackson, the chair of this committee. We'll move on to item 6.1. This is a discussion and possible action regarding appointments and approval of committee members and or chairs. Since we have new members coming on and other members leaving off, we need to do some assignments and reorganizations of our committees, and just to make sure that we're transparent in the process. So discussion and possible action regarding appointment and approval of the committee members and chairs. And our committees are listed as, we have education and licensing, we have intervention and discipline, we have nursing practice committee, and we have the legislation committee. And as far as the legislation committee, Donna Gerber left. She did a wonderful job as chairing that committee. And prior to her leaving, she worked with Dolores Trujillo. And at this time, I'd like to appoint Dolores Trujillo as the chair of the legislative committee. And on that committee so far, we have, let me make sure, and this will be updated on our website as well. And also, the times that we've had right now with uncertainty about meetings, having to be flexible with our platforms or having committee members get sick, the board president also needs to have the ability to reassign members to boards so we can maintain a quorum at all times. So on the administrative committee, you have myself, Michael Jackson, you have Kenneth Marlborough, and you have the staff liaison as the executive officer, Loretta Melby. Enforcement and Intervention Committee, we have listed as Emilda. She's the chair. Elizabeth Woods, and Ken Marbrough. Since we have a new member coming on, and she has lots of experience in nursing leadership, I'd like to assign her to the Enforcement Intervention Committee. And that is Dr. Mary Fagan. Dr. Fagan, are you on? Can we check your microphone? We're still waiting on her to come up. And the Education Licensing Committee. The Education Licensing Committee right now is just myself, Michael Jackson is the chair, Kenneth Marbrough, and the staff liaison is listed as Mary Ann McCarthy. And at this time, I'd like to assign Karen Skelton to that committee.
Happy to serve.
Thank you very much. We need it. And the legislative committee. Someone has to mute the microphone because we're getting feedback.
This is Dolores Trujillo. I'm happy with the legislative committee. I'm getting a lot of feedback from your mic, Michael.
Oh, you have to mute your computer.
This is Reza. I could be wrong. I believe it was Dr. Fagan's mic who came on briefly and maybe was echoing my voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, finally. Thank goodness. I'm back.
Dr. Fagan, sorry, I'll take a brief moment. I'll take a brief moment to introduce Dr. Fagan and allow her to introduce herself and inform us who she's been appointed by.
Michael, you want me to give a little background about myself?
Yes, please.
Okay. I have been a registered nurse for many, many years. I'm currently the chief nursing officer at Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego. I've been in this role for 10 years. Previous to that, I was the director of quality management. So I have a lot of background in quality, and I am just very happy to serve.
We're very happy to have you here. So moving back to the committee assignment. So Dr. Fagan, you have to mute your microphone.
Okay.
So the legislative committee will be chaired by Dolores Trujillo. On that committee also is Imelda Ceja Buckowitz, myself, and Thelma Harris is the chief of legislation and the staff liaison. Also, I'd like to ask Kenneth Marbrough if he would serve on that committee as well.
This is Ken Marbrough. I'd be happy to do so.
Thank you very much. And the Nursing Practice Committee is chaired by Elizabeth Woods. I'm a member of that committee, and we need 2 more members on that committee, and that's usually done by the nurses. So I'll ask Dolores Trujillo and Mary Fagan to serve on that committee.
This is Dolores Trujillo. I'd be happy to do so.
Thank you very much. So,
And Mary Fagan, happy to serve.
thank you very much. So at this time, I'd like to submit a motion for those appointments and to give the board president, which we've done this in the past already, but we want to be transparent. And since the board manual is being updated, we want to make sure this is on the record that those committee members. My motion is to approve the committee members and also the chairs, and also giving the board's president and vice president, board's president, the authority to reassign committee members during the time when it's needed for a quorum.
This is Ken Marlborough. I'll second that motion.
Are there any public comments at this time or any discussion from board members?
Mr. Jackson, this is Elizabeth Woods. I just wanted to say that the contact person for the Nursing Practice Committee is Jeanette Wackerly. That wasn't said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that. Yes, the liaison for the Nurses Practice Committee is Jeanette Wackerly, the supervising nursing education consultant.
Mr. Chair, this is Imelda Seha Budkowitz. In the past, we've also, you made an administrative decision and we voted that in the event that there is a member that is not present and we need a quorum to have the committee meetings, that you could appoint on site.
Yeah, that's what we're voting on right now.
Okay.
Seeing no other discussion, is there any public comment?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for the members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I have activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no public requests for comment. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, BRN moderator, close the public comment. Seeing no public comments, no more comments from the board, I would like to call for the vote. Michael Jackson, board president, votes yes. Ken Marlborough,
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Imelda Seha Budkowitz,
Imelda Seha Budkowitz votes yes.
Mary Fagan,
Mary Fagan votes yes.
thank you. Karen Skelton,
Yes.
Dolores Trujillo,
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
and Elizabeth Woods.
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 6.2, discussion and possible action regarding board and committee dates for 2021. Are the dates included in our packet?
I never saw the dates.
Me neither. So item 6.2, normally the board historically voted a resolution for future meeting dates, but last time this held us to specific dates and we weren't able to quickly act and make decisions. So in response to the COVID-19 pandemic started in March, all board and committee meetings were held virtually and board voted for flexibility. So the board needs to develop a plan for setting the 2021 dates and locations with flexibility to respond to the pandemic and other future declared emergencies.
Hey, Michael, this is Lori, the executive officer. Just to interject real quick, the dates for the meetings will actually be voted on in November as done in the past. So the November board meeting will set the dates for the future board meeting schedule for 2021.
Okay, so we'll table this item 6.0 until November when we have the dates.
This one was for just flexibility for when we do go into those dates, is my understanding. So you can still make a motion and vote on that, as this is more the flexibility nature because of the state of emergency, et cetera.
So at this time, I make a motion that the board adopts a plan for flexibility with dates, platform, meeting location, depending on state of emergencies.
I will second your motion. This is Imelda Ceja Betkowitz.
Thank you very much. Are there any discussions from the board members? Seeing no discussion from the board members before we vote, public comment, please.
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in the request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I will pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no requests for public comment. Would you like me to close this window?
BRN moderator, thank you very much. Yes, please.
Board President Jackson, this is Ken Marlborough.
Yes, sir.
I just have one question. I know in our administrative committee, we talked about the possibility of reducing some committee and board meetings. Do you plan on having that discussion next month as well?
Oh, that would be in November with the dates.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, normally the board meetings were only 5 times out of the year. And the extra meetings were added on in order to take care of the disciplinary backlog. But last year, we probably had far more board meetings than just 10. So I call for the vote at this time. Michael Jackson votes yes. Kenneth Marlborough.
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Imelda Ceja Betkowitz.
Imelda Ceja Betkowitz votes yes.
Mary Fagan.
Yes.
Karen Skelton.
Yes.
Dolores Trujillo.
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
Elizabeth Woods.
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. Moving on to item 7.0, report of the Education Licensing Committee. I'm the chair of this committee. And our Education Licensing Committee liaison is Dr. Mary. Sorry, where's my mind drawing a blank? Dr. Mary Ann McCarthy.
Good morning. This is Mary Ann McCarthy, Nursing Education Consultant and Liaison to the Education and Licensing Committee. Agenda item 7.1, discussion and possible action regarding Educational Licensing Committee. Excuse me, recommendation to ratify acceptance of minor curriculum revisions and acknowledge receipt of program progress reports. According to board policy, nursing education consultants may approve minor curriculum changes that do not significantly alter the philosophy, objectives, or content. Approvals must be reported to the Education Licensing Committee and to the board. Minor curriculum revisions include the following categories: curriculum changes, work study programs, preceptor programs, public health nurse certificate programs, and progress reports that are not related to a continuing approval. The following programs have submitted minor curriculum revisions and progress reports that have been approved by the nursing education consultants. Temporary revisions related to COVID are marked. This is a consent agenda item.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mary Ann McCarthy. Item 7.1, I make a recommendation that we accept.
This is Ken Marlborough. I'll second that motion.
Are there any comments or questions from board members? Seeing none, opening up for public comment. PRN moderator.
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for the members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I have activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no public requests for comments. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please. Seeing no public comments, I call for the vote. Michael Jackson votes yes. Ken Marlborough.
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Imelda Seha Buckowitz.
Imelda Seha Buckowitz votes yes.
Mary Fagan.
Mary Fagan votes yes.
Karen Skelton.
Karen votes yes.
Dolores Trujillo.
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
Elizabeth Woods.
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you very much. Item 7.2.
Item 7.2, discussion and possible action regarding Education Licensing Committee recommendation to approve pre-licensure program unit adjustment or other changes for Stanbridge University Associate Degree Nursing Program. This is a major curriculum revision with no enrollment increase and a consent agenda item.
Item 7.2, I make a motion that we accept.
This is Ken Marlborough. I'll second it.
Any board discussion? Any public comments?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no public requests for comments. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please close the window. Seeing no public comments, I call for the vote. Michael Jackson votes yes.
Ken Marlboro votes yes.
Imelda Seha Buckowitz,
Imelda Seha Buckowitz votes yes.
Mary Fagan,
Mary Fagan, yes.
Karen Skelton, okay. Karen Skelton, you might have stepped off. Dolores Trujillo
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
and Elizabeth Woods.
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you. Dr. Marianne McCarthy, thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 7.3. Discussion and possible action regarding acknowledging receipt of program progress report for Miracosta College Associate Degree Nursing Program. The Education Licensing Committee met on August 13th, 2020. 2 members of the committee were present, Michael Jackson and Kenneth Marlborough. Mr. Jackson recused himself from the Miracosta acceptance of program progress report decision. Therefore, having no quorum, it was moved to the full board. This is a consent agenda item. Thank you.
This is Board President Michael Jackson. I'll take a motion at this time.
I will make that motion. Imelda Seha Buckowitz.
This is Ken Marlboro. I'll second the motion.
Any board discussion? Any public comments?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in the request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no public requests for comments. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please. Seeing no further public comment, I'd like to call for the vote this time. Michael Jackson votes to recuse himself. Kenneth Marlborough,
Kenneth Marlboro votes yes.
Imelda Seha Buckowitz,
Imelda votes yes.
Mary Fagan,
Mary Fagan, yes.
Karen Skelton,
Karen, yes.
Dolores Trujillo,
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
and Elizabeth Woods.
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you very much. Item
Agenda item,
7.4.
yes, thank you. Sorry. Agenda item 7.4. Discussion and possible action regarding clinical practice experience required for nurse practitioner students enrolled in non-California-based nurse practitioner education programs. This will be presented by Jeanette Wackerly, Supervising Nursing Education Consultant.
I guess I'm unmuted. Yes? This is,
You're good, Jeanette. Go ahead.
oh, thank you. This particular section 1486 is identified as non-California-based nurse practitioner education programs that are requesting clinical placements for students in clinical settings in California. And the request is for board approval. The documents that you have in your packet include verification of the non-California-based nurse practitioner program general information and instructions, verification of clinical practice experience for nurse practitioners and students enrolled in the non-California-based education program, and nurse practitioner program preceptor form. The following California-based nurse practitioner education programs have provided evidence of compliance with all of CCR 1486 and ensure that students have successfully completed prerequisite courses and are enrolled in the non-California-based nurse practitioner program. The request is that you approve American Sentinel University, Briarcliff University, Clarkson College, Duke University, Emory University, Frontier University, Georgetown University, Winthrop University, Ohio State University, Regis College, Roseman University, Rush University, University of Colorado, University of Texas at Arlington, and Walden University. And that's the list of schools that have met all the requirements that are in CCR 1486. You have all the documents in your packet. Thank you.
This is Elizabeth Woods, and Jeanette has done an awful lot of work over this issue, and I think we should accept it.
Is there a second?
Dolores Trujillo seconds.
Any board discussion? Thank you, Betty. Public comment?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no public requests for comment. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please close the window. Seeing no public comment, I call for the vote. Michael Jackson votes to recuse himself. Kenneth Marlborough?
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Imelda Seha Buckowitz?
Imelda, yes.
Mary Fagan?
Mary Fagan, yes.
Karen Skelton? Dolores Trujillo?
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
Elizabeth Woods?
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you. The motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item 7.5, discussion and possible action regarding National Nursing Organization accreditation status for California State University, Fresno Nurse Practitioner Program. This will be presented by Shelley Ward, Nursing Education Consultant, and she will be joined on the line as needed by Dr. Sylvia Miller, the Program Director and Chair at CSU Fresno.
Agreements, they weren't all up to date. So.
Good morning. This is Shelley Ward, Nursing Education Consultant. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good, Shelley. Continue.
Okay, I'm here to present an update of the outcome.
Sylvia Miller's got something going on.
Oh, should I pause for a minute? I'll go again. I'm here to present an update on the outcome of the program's initiatives to restore their accreditation status with CCNE, which is the Commission on Nursing Education, Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education. By way of brief background, both the Education and Licensing Committee and the Board of Registered Nursing respectively in August of 2019 and November of 2019, were informed that the nurse practitioner program that serves those in the master's degree option for FNPs, those in the postmaster's option for FNPs, and as incidentally related to the psych mental health nurse practitioner option for the certificate of advancement for those NPs that are already certified by the board, that essentially the accreditation status had been withdrawn by CCNE in May of 2019, subsequent to their September of 2018 on-site accreditation visit. The reason that this was presented to the board is that by regulation, new regulation actually, that commenced in January of 2019, all nurse practitioner programs that are BRN approved have to be accredited by a national nursing organization in regards to this program and many programs at CCNE. So what the board was interested in determining and what was presented in November of 19 is that CSU Fresno's NP program immediately took action to provide to the CCNE the information that they needed to have their accreditation status reaffirmed. So what happened in September of 2019 is that they had a subsequent on-site visit, and thereafter in June of 2020 were notified by letter that their reaccreditation status had been restored for all program options, the FNP Masters, the Postmasters FNP, and the Psych Mental Health APRN Postgraduate Certificate. They are in good standing with our regulations in terms of compliance at this time. I did inquire about their resources to maintain this accreditation status, if there were any issues, and they communicated with me in writing that at this time they are not foreseeing any problems. They have to submit to CCNE just by way of their own procedures a progress report about midway between the accreditation cycle status. And the BRN has their routinely scheduled continuing approval visit, which will be coming up next fall of 21. So at this point in time, they are in complete compliance with the accreditation requirements in CCR section 1480 to 1484. And that really concludes my report.
Is there any action that the board needs to take since they're in compliance?
No, the reason that it came forward was in the event that they had not been successful in achieving their accreditation status. By regulation, the board would have the authority to make decisions about their approval status based on that. But since they were successful, I don't have any I don't have any reasons that I can see that the board would take action because they're in compliance.
Okay, thank you very much. There's no action for the board at this time. And we can move on to agenda item 7.6.
Thank you. Agenda item 7.6, discussion and possible action regarding whether to accept Education and Licensing Committee recommendation to accept the program progress report and/or address any performance gaps, including actions described in 16 CCR 1423.2A for East Los Angeles College Associate Degree Nursing Program. I am the nursing education consultant for ELAC, and I will be presenting this program. Joining me on the line is Dr. Christine Chandler, the program director, Dr. Armida Ornelas, vice president. At the November 2019 board meeting, East Los Angeles College was put on warning status with the intent to close. They are required to report at each ELC and board meeting. The reports for this meeting were submitted from the college administration and the nursing program, and these reports were included in your packet. As of the start of fall 2020 semester, implementation of all new curriculum and new total program evaluation processes have begun under the new leadership of Dr. Chandler. and the new leadership of Dr. Madrid, who is the new dean. For the year of 2019-2020, which is our latest results, the first-time NCLEX pass rates are 72.22, which remains below the 75% BRN regulation. And at this time, there are no other significant updates to share. This concludes my report.
Thank you very much for your report. I make a motion that we accept the progress report.
It's Ken Marlborough. I'll second it.
Any discussion from the board? No discussion from the board. Public comment?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in the request for comment. I have activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board President Jackson, there are no public requests for comments. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please. Item 7.6, Michael Jackson votes to accept. Ken Marlborough?
Ken Marlborough votes yes.
Imelda Seja Buckowitz?
Imelda votes yes.
Mary Fagan?
Mary Fagan, yes.
Karen Skelton? Dolores Trujillo?
Dolores Trujillo votes yes.
Elizabeth Woods?
Elizabeth Woods, yes.
Thank you very much, board members.
Sorry, this is Reza, just a minor procedural thing. I couldn't jump in quick enough. Was there a second? I presume that was Michael's motion.
Yes, I have the Ken Marlborough seconded the motion.
Okay, I apologize.
No problem. Moving on to agenda item 7.7, NCLEX updates. These will be presented by Katie Doherty, who is a nursing education consultant.
Good morning.
Thank you, Katie. Go ahead.
This information item includes 3 tables of data. You'll find the information in pages 125 through 128 of your meeting materials. The first table that we're going to talk about is table 1, which represents the 12-month rolling total of NCLEX pass rates for the period July 1, 2019 through June 30, 2020. You can see that California had a total of 12,077 first-time test takers and a pass rate of 91.60%. In the United States, the national rate, including the territories and inclusive of California, there were a total of 167,510 first-time test takers and a pass rate of 87.93%. In comparison to 2019, both the number of test takers and the pass rates are not significantly different. Despite the COVID issues, again, in 2019, there were 12,142 first-time test takers compared with this year of 12,077, and the pass rate in 2019 was 91.62. So again, a very small difference in those. The same is true for the US. There were 168,279 first-time test takers as compared with what is being reported this morning. And the pass rate in 2019 for the national was 88.36. As we customarily do, the 12-month rolling total comparison that we provide in terms of other state board jurisdictions with a similar range of first-time test takers in the range of 11,062 to 16,554 test takers. Texas had 13,009 with a pass rate of 91.62. California had 12,077 and a pass rate of 91.60. New York was third in terms of that 12-month rolling total with 11,062 and a pass rate of 85.14, followed by Florida, which had 16,554 and a 71.39%. As you can see, that California remains consistently in the top four with similar number of test takers for that period. Any questions about that table? If none, then I'm going to move on to table 2, which is we're reporting the most recent quarter of results for this period of time, and that is April 1 of 2020 through 6/30/2020. You can see that California had 1,795 first-time test takers and an 89.25% pass rate. Here too, the number of quarterly test takers is not appreciably different than it was in 2019, either in terms of numbers or the pass rate. You'll notice in the just below table 2, we talked about the test plan that is in effect, the 2019 test plan that was to be in effect through March 31 of 2022. At yesterday's virtual NCLEX conference, National Council of State Boards actually changed this effective date due to the COVID and due to very rigorous statistical analysis. They've made this decision that the 2019 test plan will remain in effect, as will the passing standard, through March 31 of 2023. Below that, you'll note on page 125 the changes that were instituted by the National Council of State Boards to address the COVID. Again, those modifications are in effect till September 30th. They reduced the test time from 6 hours to 4 hours. They reduced the number of items to 130. Again, their statistics and analysis are showing no appreciable difference in the pass rates despite those changes. If you'll recall, typically the NCLEX are in test plan and test items total 265, where they reduced it to 130. And again, statistically, there aren't any significant differences in those. Any questions about that piece? I'm now moving over to page 126 to talk about the modifications to the NCLEX test plan that will be effective starting October 1st, 2020. At yesterday's virtual NCLEX conference, National Council informed the attendees that all of the 6 bulleted areas will remain in effect through March 31, 2023. That means that there will be a total of 130 stored test items, that the test length will be 5 hours. And then they made some modifications in the tutorial, moving that to a general tips information. And they've reintroduced both the 15 pre-test items and the NCLEX research section, which they're using, of course, to test items that will be part of the next generation NCLEX exam that will probably go into effect in 2023. Again, at yesterday's conference, they underscored that this is the tentative implementation date for the next generation. And again, the research and results of the research will drive when they roll out the next generation NCLEX test plan. Any questions about that information? If none, and hearing none, I'm going to move on to table 3, which is really the distribution of NCLEX pass rates by degree type, and we're highlighting the April through June, a quarter of results. Once again, there's not really significant changes here. Probably the most significant change in terms of pass rate, number of testers and pass rates is in 2019 for the April through June quarter, there were 53,937. You'll notice for the April through June 2020, the total number of first-time test takers was 50,692. Again, the rest of the statistics in terms of national or pass rates by degree type are not significantly different. They're also comparable to the 2019 quarterly pass rate. Any questions you have? That concludes my report.
Thank you, Katie. Mr. Chair, are you ready for agenda item 7.8?
Yes, please.
Agenda item 7.8 is the licensing program update, which is going to be presented by Macaulay Fuzarens. Macaulay?
Thank you, Marianne, and good morning, everyone. As Marianne mentioned, I am Macaulay Fuzarens, and I'm the chief of the licensing division. And the licensing division evaluators are currently processing the initial review of all applications for California, U.S., international exam and endorsement that we received in June. We're processing outgoing verifications received in August, and both inactive to active and back to active requests received in September. As you know, due to COVID-19, graduation dates for many California nursing programs were extended into July and August, thus extending the spring and summer graduation season. The board has now completed the processing of both the spring and the summer season, and in total, staff processed over 6,200 California graduates during the season. Moving on to statistics, the board continues to use Cuber and can create and run various reports upon request. The board utilizes custom reports to find areas of improvement in our processes, as well as better predict workflow fluctuations and assign application workload to staff. The following tables are showing the final year statistics for fiscal year 2019-2020. The licensing average processing timeframe statistics for exams, which is the receipt of an application to the approval of an applicant to exam, is about 33 days, a little over at 33.1, but 33 days. And then for endorsement applications, which is again receipt of an application to licensure, the processing time frame was about 29.5 days. The licensing application received table provides the total number of applications to the board by each fiscal year. And again, for fiscal year 1920, we had a total of 16,092 exam applications, 17,688 endorsement applications, 5,966 repeat or reapply applications, and 9,454 advanced practice applications. The additional request received table provides the total number of outgoing verifications and inactive to active requests that the board has received by fiscal year. As mentioned during the last board meeting, the data for the out-of-state verification has been updated from previous license reports because we discovered that the report we were using was pulling inaccurate information. We updated this information and we verified it using several reports, which included the revenue report. To date, we do not have the final month, which is like month 12 of this report. Therefore, the statistics for the out-of-state verifications are current as of the end of May. When we get that final revenue report, we will update the statistics and provide those updated numbers. So for the out-of-state verifications, again, through the end of May, does not encompass June, we received 19,897. And for the total fiscal year, all the way through June, for inactive to active requests, we received 2,548. We also have been working on some Breeze updates, and we currently have 2 tickets that should be deployed later this year. The first ticket is to add an online payment capability for a variety of things. So we're looking to add online payments for outgoing verification requests for transcript copies, requests for NCLEX results, and employer verifications. This will help the board reduce the amount of processing times because it reduces the cashiering time since these payments can be done online. The second change will add the licensing method of licensure to the Breeze public license search results page. This new addition will reflect on the board search screen in Breeze and will display the method of licensure as either exam or endorsement within the license details. Staffing updates. As you can see in your materials, we have 3 vacancies and they're all in different phases of recruitment. And I do want to highlight that we did have 2 positions filled recently. I'd like to congratulate Angelina Gonzalez on her promotion as an SSA into the International Evaluations Unit. And I'd like to welcome Victor Aguilar to the board as a new U.S. evaluator. For our next steps, we will continue to monitor business processes, timeframe improvement, and staff hiring. Do you have any questions?
No questions from me.
Thank you.
Mary Fagan, I'm wondering how the online payments will impact processing times. Do we have an estimate?
We do not have an estimate. We do know that it will help. I believe processing times for cashiering can range up to 2 weeks. I'm not 100% sure on that number, but I believe it's up to 2 weeks. And if it's online, it's much quicker because we don't have to go through the online payment and the reconciliation for cashiering. So it will definitely help. We're very excited about those online payments. And Mary, if you would like the specific timeframes, we can provide that. I can get you that information.
That'd be great.
Any other questions?
No other questions from me.
Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Mr. President, this concludes the report of the Education Licensing Committee.
Thank you very much. Do the board members need a brief break?
That would be nice.
Can we come back at 10:40? Thank you. All right, BRN moderator, it's 10:40, time for us to get back on the agenda.
Welcome back.
We have item 8.0, report of the Enforcement Intervention Committee. Committee chair is Imelda Seja Buckowitz, and we'll let her take care of it.
Okay, item 8.0, report on the Enforcement Intervention Committee. Moving along to 8.1, this is for informational only. the enforcement update. I'm not sure who's there from staff to give the report. You can please introduce yourself.
This is Shannon Johnson, the Deputy Chief of Enforcement, and I'll be reporting on 8.1.
Hello, Shannon. Welcome.
Hi. So I'll start with complaint intake. So we've been working closely with the Public Information Unit to ensure the standard for customer service is maintained while in the telework environment. The managers have assessed phone lines for information, including routes of access, call volume, and voicemail capability. We've also worked with PIU staff to receive training on utilizing the symposium reporting system as it relates to calls received to accurately monitor calls being referred from the PIU. To maximize the ability for answering incoming calls from the public, the managers have drafted a proposal for a pilot program that began August 17th. It will run through October 31st. This pilot expansion includes all enforcement support staff to monitor the voicemail left from the general public on a daily basis. Data is being collected to assess the workload impact and public needs. If this pilot proves to be effective, the enforcement unit will make this expansion permanent. I'll move on to investigations. So investigations has been working closely with the complaint intake unit to streamline and improve processes to further the Go Green efforts. Special investigators are scanning all completed investigations in the field and transferring them electronically to BRN headquarters for processing. This reduces the time in which a case moves through the process, as well as the cost for printing and shipping. Both supervising special investigators and the deputy chief for investigation regularly participate with complaint intake staff in case triage meetings to assist with complaint evaluation. This is a vital team building environment, which has fostered the ability for staff to be able to regularly and easily exchange ideas and pose questions regarding workload topics. BRN and the Division of Investigation continue to improve the process surrounding case referrals and the complaint resolution pilot project. DFI has agreed to independently retrieve complaint documents from Breeze. This will reduce the workload for staff office technicians who can be redirected to help where needed. Additionally, BRN and DFI are evaluating Breeze to expand its use between the two departments. Breeze subject matter expert Christy Powell will be conducting training for DFI staff virtually this month related to assigned complaints, the download of documents, and navigation through the various areas. And this will further the Go Green efforts of electronic transmission of documents between internal partners. I'll move on to the discipline unit. The discipline unit is looking at the lowest case processing timeframe in years and getting closer to the department goal of 540 days for formal discipline processing. Last month, our timeframe AG transmittal to pleading filed was at a low of 79 days on average. In response to COVID-19 and the expansion of the teleworking opportunities, the discipline unit effectively transitioned to a paperless case review system, expanding their use of Breeze for all case items. We've recently completed a pilot for the electronic transfer of case files with the Attorney General's office in Los Angeles. We are now in the process of expanding this out to the remaining Attorney General offices across the state. I'll move on to probation. The probation unit has successfully testified in hearings using alternative methods such as Microsoft Teams and conference calls. As of October 1st, a new contract with First Source Solutions went into effect, reducing the cost for probationary nurses required to drug test if utilizing the new in-network facilities. Probation orientations have successfully been conducted via teleconference to allow for compliance with CDC guidelines. I'll move on to intervention. Maximus has been awarded the new contract for the administration of DCA's alternative to discipline recovery programs, including the BRN intervention program. Maximus was the prior contractor for the BRN intervention program, and the transition has been seamless. The new contract includes the addition of an outreach specialist who has been recruited to provide up to 45 presentations per year in an effort to ease participant costs for drug testing while maintaining the integrity of the random drug testing. Lab costs have been reduced. Maximus has successfully deployed Worksite Monitor and Clinical Assessor portals in its case management system, which allow reports to be submitted electronically. Both systems are working well. With the COVID-19 pandemic, intervention evaluation committee meetings have successfully been implemented through Zoom meetings. Participants, committee members, and program staff have all stated that the virtual meetings have worked well to maintain face-to-face contact. The updates. So for AB 2138, that was effective as of July 1st, 2020, the BRN's frequently asked questions have been updated on the website to reflect the new changes in AB 2138. COVID-19 pandemic has created a challenge with outreach presentations due to travel and meeting restrictions. However, staff are currently looking into opportunities to conduct presentations virtually. I've also included the statistics for the last 4 fiscal year comparisons. And unless anyone has any questions, before we move on to 8.1.1, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Shannon. I do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So regarding the breeze, people that are staff that are working remotely, can they do that at home?
Yes, there is a cloud portal that they can use, and they can log on from home and access the system, including Breeze and all of their case files.
That's great. What else? Well, just keep us posted. I think, the outreach is going to be a challenge for many of us, not only the BRN, but I think we need to move forward and look towards the future as how we can continue to do this, social distancing and not in-person presentations. Does anybody from the board have any comments or questions for Shannon?
This is Mary Fagan. I'm wondering, in the discipline section, you said that we're getting closer to the 540 days for formal discipline processing. Where are we?
Just over 600.
Over 600. And what is best practice?
I'm sorry, best practice in terms of time frame?
In terms of time frame, yeah.
Well, for us, we're at the lowest that we've ever been.
Do we know how that compares to other boards of nursing?
Yeah, other boards of nursing, there are a handful that are around the same time frame. They're much smaller boards. But there is a table that is out on DCA's website that shows all the different boards and where they fall in comparison.
Okay.
I think Dr. Fagan was asking, how do we compare to other boards of nursing?
I would say
around the country.
I'm sorry, Michael, did you state it based around the rest of the United States?
Was that what she was asking? How do we compare to other boards of nursing?
Right, that was my question.
I'm not sure. I would have to look into that and get back to you with those numbers.
But we are the largest board of nursing in the country.
Yes, we are the largest board of nursing in the country with over 500,000 licensees, which is over all other states.
I think we're pretty comparable to New York, correct?
New York and Texas.
And Florida.
So maybe you can compare with those other states that.
I can always pull those numbers.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Okay, moderator, let's go ahead and open to for public comments.
We'll be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for the members of the public to see how they should type the request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board member Seha Bekowitz, there are no public requests for comments.
Okay, thank you. That will conclude this portion of the committee report. Again, thank you, Shannon. Stay safe, stay well.
We
Say
still
hello
have
to everyone.
Sorry, Imelda, we still have 8.1.1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, continue, please, Shannon.
So for 8.1.1, I'm going to introduce our deputy chief is going to be reporting on that. And I just want to introduce her. Most of you know her as our Southern California supervising investigator for the last 9 years. She's recently been promoted to deputy chief of investigations, and she will be reporting on 8.1.1. So go ahead, Scarlett.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Scarlett Treviso. I'm the Deputy Chief of Investigations. I would like to report on the DFI pilot project. DFI and BRN continue to follow the pilot project initiated in September 2019 that allowed BRN to maintain investigations for urgent priority quality of care complaints alleging significant patient harm and or death. As of September 9th, 2020, there have been 98 cases submitted for BRN investigation that met the established pilot criteria. To date, 56 have been completed and 42 are pending. The pilot project includes case tracking accountability measures so DCA and BRN can closely monitor this critical caseload. Are there any questions?
These are cases that we've held, right? Within
That's
the
correct.
BRN. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
If there are no other questions, you can move along to the investigations.
I think that's it for item
I think that's
8.1.1.
This was just specifically to the DFI pilot project Shannon covered. We put everything in enforcement that covers investigations.
I'm sorry, it was in the same page. Okay, so thank you,
You're very
Scarlett,
welcome.
and welcome.
Thank you so much. I look forward to working with everyone.
So do we. Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. Have a good day. Bye.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Moderator, do we want to open again for public comments?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for the members of the public to see how they should type in the request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember, you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board member Seha Bekowitz, we have a public member who would like to make a comment. God's child, I will unmute your microphone.
It was mentioned that the Board of Registered Nursing retained 98 cases as opposed to sending them to the Division of Investigation for referral and to be investigated by sworn investigators. The 2016 audit by the state auditor said that our internal investigators were having too many cases. The caseload was too high. In 2018, there was a report submitted that that number had been reduced, but of course the public now knows those numbers were falsified. So it's just concerning that how BRN investigators are going to take on additional cases for serious offenses related to patient death without an augmentation to staff. And looking at the budget change proposal that was approved by the legislature, there were no positions allocated to the BRN's internal investigation team. So it's just concerning, with the public safety being paramount, how these investigators are taking on additional caseloads without an augmentation to staff when we've already been determined to already have too high of a caseload per investigator.
Okay, thank you for your comment. As you are aware, we're not able to respond to your comment, but we will take that under consideration. Thank you. Moderator, are there any other comments from the public?
Board member Seha Buckwitz, there are no other public comment requests. Would you like me to close this window?
Please do. Are there any other comments or questions from board members? If none, we will go ahead and continue with the agenda.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 9.0. This will be report of the Legislative Committee. We will have Dolores Trujillo chair this committee.
Good morning. This is Dolores Trujillo, newly appointed chair of the Legislative Committee. Is Thelma Harris present? Okay. So right now, we're going to discuss three bills. The three bills are highlighted are AB 890.
Dolores, this is Reza. I apologize for the interruption. Just wanted to mention, it looks like Thelma Harris is in our attendee list. If she's due to speak, perhaps the moderator can promote her to a panelist.
She's been unmuted.
Thank you. Good morning, Thelma. Thelma? Is Thelma unmuted, moderator?
Yes, ma'am, she is. One second. Let's see if we can.
Dolores, we are attempting to make contact with her outside of the WebEx to ensure that she doesn't have any technical difficulties.
All right.
We will keep you updated.
Sure. Thanks.
And as far as AB 890, that bill has been enrolled and it has been presented to the governor as of 9/14/2020. So it's waiting on the governor's desk for a decision.
Okay, moving down the list, the next highlighted bill is AB 2288. This bill, this is the nursing program's clinical hours. This bill is also enrolled, and the governor has not acted upon this bill yet. And the next one, the last one, is SB 1237, the nurse midwife scope of practice. And my understanding is that this is also enrolled. The governor has not yet acted on this bill. Do we have Thelma yet, or shall we move on?
Madam Chair, are
She's
there
attempting
any?
to connect back.
Okay.
1 second.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll wait. So those are the three bills that have been enrolled to the governor. Have been enrolled and presented to the governor for his signature or veto. Were we going to change your position for the board's position on any of those bills?
To my knowledge, we are not changing our position on any of those bills.
Okay.
Sorry, she's almost here.
Thank you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Thelma, turn off your back speaker.
Okay.
Hi, Thelma. This is Dolores Trujillo. Do you have a report from the Legislative Committee? My understanding is that we're reporting on the 3 highlighted bills that were listed in the agenda.
Thelma, this is Loretta Melby. Are you able to unmute and present?
She's unmuted. Board Member Trujillo, would you like to take a quick 5-minute break so we can get Thelma?
Sure, 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me? Hello?
Perfect.
You got me.
We got you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thank you, Mark.
Good morning, Thelma. This is Dolores.
Good morning. I'm very sorry.
Okay. Do you have a report for the legislative committee? Report out?
Yes, I do. And thank you for covering for me. Welcome as our new chair, and I look forward to working with you. Yes, in reference to the legislative committee, the final recess was completed with the legislature August the 31st. Our bills, all bills now that are being sent before the governor have to be signed or vetoed by September the 30th. And so we're still waiting for our 3 priority bills that are before him. But before I go into the bills, I do want to let the board and the members know that the Legislative Affairs Unit now has a complete unit of 3 new employees. That's Ross Siddiqui, our regulatory analyst who will focus on regulations, Vincent Miranda, our information officer specialist, and Gurpreet Kaur, our regulatory and legislative analyst. So we are now a complete team, and we'll be providing even more excellent service to the board and to our consumers. And moving forward, Board Member Trujillo, as you reported, starting out with the 3 bills that are our priorities, Assembly Bill 890, which is with Assembly Member Wood, is now before the governor and waiting to be signed. And this bill is specific to the nurse practitioners. The board has taken a position of opposed unless amended. And so we're waiting to find out what the results are of the governor at this point. Assembly Bill 2288, which is Assembly Member Lowe. This is in reference to our nursing programs and clinical hours. This bill has also been enrolled and is at the governor's desk waiting to be signed for whatever action he's planning to take. And the board's position last was support with amendments. The last bill that is our priority bill is Senate Bill 1237.
Thelma, this is Lori, the executive officer. Are you able to clarify the board's position on 2288, please?
I'm sorry, that was opposed. Opposed, yes, with amendments. Opposed, yes. Thank you. Did I say opposed? I'm sorry if I misspoke.
You had said support with amendment.
No, that is incorrect. It is opposed. The board's position, last position was to oppose. Okay, and the next bill, the last bill was Senate Bill 1237, which is Senator Dodd, and that's in reference to the nurse midwives and the scope of practice. And the last position with the board was support if amended. That bill is also at the governor's desk. And so this completes my report. Are there any questions?
What is our position on the last? I'm sorry, this is Karen Skelton. What was our position on the last bill?
Senate Bill 1237 with the nurse midwives, support if amended.
Thank you.
Here are no other questions.
Thank you, Phil. Are there any comments from the board? Do I have a motion to accept the report?
We don't have to vote on accepting the report. If you can, we can take public comment.
Yes, that's what I was just gonna say. Moderator, can we open it up for public comment?
We will be opening for public comment now. I will be activating the question and answer feature. Please refer to the screen share for members of the public to see how they should type in their request for comment. I've activated the question and answer feature. Members of the public can indicate that they would like to make a comment by typing into the question box, "I would like to make a comment." Please remember you will have 2 minutes to make your comments. I will not give a reminder as your time approaches. I do not want to interrupt you nor cause you to lose your train of thought. I will mute your microphone and inform you that your time has expired, and we'll move on to the next member of the public. I'll pause for a moment for members of the public to type in, "I would like to make a comment." Board Member Trujillo, there are no public requests for comments. Would you like me to close this window?
Yes, please close the window. Thank you. I believe that completes our report on the Legislative Committee. Thank you, Thelma.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Thelma Harris and Chair Trujillo. Moving on to item 10.0. This will be closed session. The board will convene in closed session at this time, pursuant to Government Code 11126, subdivision C3, to deliberate on disciplinary matters, including stipulation and proposed decision, pending legislation and personnel matters at this time. Board members, you have the instructions for your call-in for the closed session meeting. BRN moderator, shall we call the roll for the board members to establish a quorum?
Is Karen coming back? Do we know?
I don't think she's coming back.
Okay. Dolores, are you back? Ken, are you back? I'm not sure if Dolores is back.
It shows that she's a participant.
Yes, ma'am, but she didn't reply. Ken unmuted, so I'm assuming Ken's back.
Mr. Marlborough, are you back?
Uh-oh.
You just lost them.
There he is.
Elizabeth's not back on.
Yes, I am.
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me now?
There you are, sir. Welcome back.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so Dolores is the only one we haven't gotten a response from. Oh, and Mary joined. Mary, are you back?
I'm back.
Perfect. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dolores, we didn't hear you.
I'm here.
Okay. Yes, sir. You are ready to go.
All right. We have established a quorum again with board members. Moving on to item 11.0. We've reconvened back in open session. Moving on to item 12.0. We will adjourn the meeting, and then since there is no items for tomorrow, there will be no meeting tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the meeting. Thank you, board members. And once again, welcome to our new board member, Dr. Mary Fagan, Chief Nurse Executive Officer for Raley's Children's of San Diego. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Great job, Betty.
Everyone.